Jake Humphries, PSP, NFL. We're fresh off a slight losing week in week 14. I think we lost somewhere between a stake and a half, I would estimate. I haven't added up the RST yet. But I'm thinking we probably lost around that. Just a quick recap on today's game, which was really, really frustrating. I feel like we were definitely hard done by. We had the New England Patriots -6, and we had the under 45.5. And, you know, we were cruising along. I think it was the beginning of the third quarter. The Patriots had just scored a touchdown to go up 23 points to 3. And then the Ravens were punting the ball after their first possession. The Patriots special teamer put his foot out accidentally. The ball bounced off his foot. It was then recovered 5 yards out from the Patriots goal line by the Ravens. They scored a touchdown, and then on the ensuing kickoff, Matthew Slater fumbled the ball for the Patriots again. The Ravens recovered again and scored a touchdown again. Really 14 points that would have been the difference with our total. Something that was really frustrating for me, but luckily we loaded up on the live spread, Patriots -5.5, and that kicked for us thanks to a really good performance from Tom Brady. I was very, very puzzled by the amount of people who were backing the Ravens in this game, really trying to, you know, make the claim that they were going to be able to go into Foxborough and beat Tom Brady. I don't really care if Rob Gronkowski isn't playing. Tom Brady always finds ways to win. The Baltimore Ravens are 7-6 now. Yeah, they have a good defense, but you know, their record would indicate they're only slightly better than an average team, and that's what they are. They're not even better than the Steelers in that division. They don't have the offensive weapons. They're not a team that I would ever consider taking straight up or with the points going into Foxborough, and you just saw why. They lost 30-27, but that game could have been 30-10. I just think the Ravens caught a few lucky breaks. Credit to them for capitalising, but it doesn't take a whole lot to punch it in on the goal line, and that's what they did twice, and it kind of ruined our bet. Now, I've just spent 2 minutes talking about that game, but what I'm going to do right now is talk about the Atlanta Falcons futures bet. Now, we have a very large play dialed in for the NFL, and what the play is, it's on Sportsbet only. It's the Atlanta Falcons to win the NFC South. Okay, the price is $1.53, and we're betting 10 units to win 5.3. Now, I want to talk to you about this market. Now, the Atlanta Falcons are tied atop the NFC South right now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the Atlanta Falcons do have that edge at the top. They're both 8-5, but the Atlanta Falcons are sitting at the top. So at this point, if the division was to cease, or the season was to end right now, the Atlanta Falcons would have the lead and they would win the division, just because they beat the Buccaneers most recently. But I believe it runs off your record versus NFC opponents or something like that, and the Falcons have the edge there. But really, I don't know if this bet is going to run beyond, you know, this weekend. What I'm planning on doing for this bet is taking a really hard look at a cash out. Okay, and in this we have the Falcons at $1.53. Yes, okay. So they're equal on games. They're both 8-5. Now this weekend, the Atlanta Falcons are the biggest favourite. $40. Now, if you're betting $1,000 like I am, that cash out offer is probably going to bump up to about $1,100 or $1,150. Now, I'll make a judgment call depending on what happens when it pertains to injuries and things like that, or if I have a change of heart. And we can pull out of that for a stake and a half profit, okay? And that's something that I'm looking pretty closely at doing. Now, that's one thing. So let's just say that we want to roll with the bet, okay? The Falcons have a 1.5 game lead there after they beat the 49ers and after the Buccaneers lose to the Cowboys, which is almost certainty to happen, okay? The week after that, both of the teams are away, okay? The Falcons travel to Carolina to play the Panthers, and the Buccaneers travel to the Saints to play the Saints. I guess both of those games are close to 50-50 propositions. I think that the Falcons will be a favourite in that game, and the Buccaneers will probably be a slight underdog, which probably works even better for us. And then the week after that, the Falcons host the Saints, and the Buccaneers host the Panthers. So we're talking about definitely a more difficult schedule for the Buccaneers because they have the Dallas game in there, but then they have to go to the Saints, and then they have to host the Panthers. And now, look, while the Falcons do have to play the 49ers, they're going to crush them. Then they go to Carolina and host the Saints. I think that in a position where we just kind of need the Buccaneers to lose, they're going to lose to the Cowboys, right? I'm almost certain they're going to lose to the Cowboys. If they don't, the Saints are still going to be beating the 49ers. So if the Cowboys lose to the Buccaneers, both of these teams are going to be 9-5, and then we've got pretty much a 50-50 proposition. It's better than a 50-50 proposition. It's got to be, because they're both equal. So if both teams win this weekend, they both go to 9-5. The Falcons remain atop the division via the tiebreak, or via the common opponents beaten, whatever. And then the only way we can lose, really, is if the Falcons finish the season 0-2 and the Bucks finish 2-0, or the Falcons finish the season 1-1 and the Bucks finish 2-0. Because if the Buccaneers only win one of their last 3 games, well, all the Falcons need to do is win one of their last 3 games as well, and they'll be on top. So basically, I think first and foremost, we're looking at a very good cash out option this weekend. And then after that, if we want to let it ride, we're looking at a very favourable situation where the Atlanta Falcons are going to be at the top of the division, a full game ahead at top of the division, and then some, right? And then both of these guys have a pretty similar schedule in the last 2 weeks. Just kind of need the Falcons to hold their own, to win at least one of those games, which they would do considering one of them is at home. And the Falcons should cruise by. I think the Falcons are a better team in the division. The Buccaneers are playing really, really well, but the Falcons will get Julio Jones back. He'll come back from that toe injury. He'll be good to go this weekend. They'll crush the 49ers. The Buccaneers will lose. So we have a cash-out option presented to us straight away. We have a cash-out option presented to us straight away. And then. So that's what we're going to go with. Atlanta Falcons to win the division. Big bet. But something that, we're going to look at cashing out. So I've got $1,000 on it. And I think we're going to be making a free $1,000 or $2 after a free $100 or $2 after the end of the week. And we'll see what happens after that.